One level wellness. Love plus art equals wellness. Precious mother love. Edward. Heart Happy Hour Season 5. I am live on my way to Annapolis. Someone told me to write a mantra or a list or something that would represent what perspective I am taking on the next 3 months, the next 6 months. You know, something you always do around your solar return time. Anyway, kind of naturally, it seems like, it feels like when your solar return is around, coming up to it, you feel reflective. Leaving from it, you feel reflective, which is why I celebrate my season from August to October, 30 days before my solar return date and 30 days after my solar return date, because I feel it coming on, and over the years, the time has expanded more and more until came that time, and I just observe it that way. But you know, when a retrograde is happening, you know, it has the same sort of effect. You feel the effect a certain amount of distance prior to its actual alignment of that, you know, occurrence of it being, you know, well, in this case, as far as retrograde, as far as it actually slowing down and or finally stopping. That's what a retrograde is. It isn't like it's going backwards. It's that we're moving forward, or everything else is moving forward. But it has changed speeds. It has shifted to another gear. It has decided to take a pause for the cause, whatever it is, and it affects everything, you know, just like the retrograde or the shifting or the maneuvering of any other celestial, you know, event or planet, or anyway, celestials. When they do other things, it affects the other things. Again, getting into the allness of it, that happens on a micro and a macro level. But if I were to say what I sense, my super sensitivities, I get hypersensitive at this time, at the, you know, and it's a full moon, and it was an eclipse, a solar and a partial solar and a partial lunar eclipse was this month, September, the month of my birth. At on the date that was my birth, you know, it was a Sunday, the year of my birth. So this year, again, it's a Sunday. So, you know, I'm sure that has some significance of just how much credibility, you know, my hypersensitivity at this point is. And I actually feel like, you know, a shot in the arm, a boost, you know. And then with the full moon being in Pisces, you know, I feel very compatible to Pisces. I feel very compatible, but in the ways that it's like even unspoken. The folks that I've known that were Pisces, I don't know about, you know, I have a few that I have syncopated with in such a way that it was just, you know, there was a brother that I was, you know, I was a DJ on the overnight spin for Saturday night to Sunday morning at UDC 90.1 FM back in the day or whatever. And I worked with this gentleman, Andre Jiminy Cricket, I just knew his name, Young, that was his last name, Andre Young, from the, he and I both worked, wait, I think that was his name. Any case, oh man, the synergy of our two, compatibility of our, you know, we were completely, and it was just, you know, thank you, yeah, I'm going towards the water. I feel the energy. I feel that coming on as well, calling me. I am not actually going to the water to sit. I'm actually going to be working nearby. My setup for today is near the water. Okay, so the time, today, now, today's date, I have been, oh my gosh. Okay, so in operating of my vehicle, in this case, my car, I started recognizing some things about the torque, about when you go over bumps, you let off the brake a little bit, and then the momentum actually carries it over it instead of you barreling through it, and then the car actually adjusts well to it in the process of it. And so it started making me think about, that's the new way that I adjust according to the way that I'm proceeding, because I had a limb that in November, and ever since then has altered the way that it's like if I don't bend and wiggle and everything when I walk. I got a more feminine walk behind because of I said behind a more feminine walk. Maybe I do mean behind, because my behind be wiggling. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I say. Anyway, so yeah, this is also the time of the shifting of the season. Eclipses or shifts. There's a lot of the foliage that's going, so that energy, the falling energy, the sun falling below the horizon, is what the significance of the energy of this season is. And it just happens to be at the time of my solar return. And so it was also being at the full moon. I was also in my menstruation, usually through my main formative years, on my cycle for full moons, and my birthday for many years. That's another reason I extended my celebration time, because that's no joke. That can funk up a party, man. I'm just saying, when you're really having a enjoyable place to visit, you got a loved one with you, it's no fun if you got the alert light is on, or whatever you might want to call it. So these extra precautions and casualties repercussions can mean not the best conditions. Not the best conditions at all. So anyway, turn it back around to today's years old. So making this list and checking it twice and all my things to see, was I naughty or nice? Did I knock off the things on my list? Did I get it done? Was I able to push my way through and onto the path? Guess what? I started pulling out my cards lately, giving myself a reading, reading the signs and the symptoms of the scenarios and deciding based on utilizing the tools I have access to. I've learned over these years. I've been to divinity school. I've been to mystery school. I've been taught many things, including, most recently I said I wanted to bring out the fact that I'm a breathologist, and that I include that in my meditation. The gateway meditation has some breaths in it, and here lately I have been also bringing in the laughter breath, the breathing exercise that I created, and that Mama Ayo and I have at least administered twice together since we talked about it, which, that is my coach, my instructor, the world-renowned Mama Ayo, Handy Candy. Thank you, Mama, for your many contributions to, sending me down the right lanes and paths, and sharing your knowledge, and, that camaraderie, that alignment, that period of time that I've been able to be exposed to you, and I hope you feel the same about our exchange, because you wear some of my beautiful jewelry. And whatever the case is, every time I see it on one of your photographs or whatever, I feel so connected to you. And I hope that that's a reflection of how I participate as a practitioner. One Love and Wellness, you guys. I'm almost to where I need to go. I just kind of wanted to pop in and say, listen to the bells and the whistles, tap into, all of the things that when you're walking, you know you have to look out for what's on the ground as well as what's going on around. Just the same way when you're driving, you're adjusting to all of the playing field as you cross it, and so I am deciding that to share with you how I've decided more so than ever to be on all fours, to be tuned into, turned on, using my 5 words of supernatural wellness: hydrate, detox, tune in, tune out, and flow. Okay, that is my lifestyle, and the way that I decided that became my lifestyle, it was somewhat decided for me. My spirit spoke to me and said, "Oh my gosh, keep saying stuff about, you know." I paused because last night I had some spiritual speakings that I was tuned into, and I came out of my cocoon, the safety. Once I get into my home zone, I'm usually shut down from. I used to broadcast my podcast from my house. I used to do a lot of things from my home, from my cocoon. And I would transform the space. I would change the energy, but I've decided to keep that space that way and not continue to interrupt that energy because it needs to be a full-time cocoon. So baby girl can come on out of here, smelling like roses, flying like she's supposed to, acting like she knows the goddess in her is released, responsible, reactive, taking the high road. All right, so you do the same. That was there, but I meant it. I was feeling that. I was feeling that horn blowing, that horn popping. So, any case, I hope you got something out of what I said. Like, share, and subscribe, because your girl's coming back with some more bigger and better things. I'm just tuned in a little bit, just wanted to show a little bit. I'm going to try my best to do a little bit every day to build up my stamina for any long-term activities, and maybe even be able to do some things again from stable places, get into the zone enough that I don't feel like I have to be so detached that I'm actually driving and distracted by the driving, so that I can be more space versus thinking about what do I look like, how do I feel, how things going. Yeah, I'm tuned into how I feel, but I'm also tuned into what is speaking to me, what am I supposed to be speaking on or speaking about. And so I started with fall. I started with today's years old because of my solar return. I started with the shifts that's going on now that we're having to adjust to, the new yuga, the new, the Aquarius age, you know, the full moon in Pisces, which was just yesterday. We're still, or day before, yeah, yesterday and the day before, but it's still present and prevalent, just the same way I said the retrogrades would be, as you sense and feel them coming up to, which is how you feel your solar return coming about and coming up to be in effect, to be into a full engagement of that flow, which I feel I am currently into, related to, and dancing around in, splashing around like David, and dancing in the rain. I mean, I was doing that yesterday because it was raining, but I felt like my feet weren't even getting wet. I mean, I felt like I was actually I don't know if I was floating, but I was so in the flow of things. And again, my words of supernatural wellness, when I say that it is a lifestyle, better believe it is the case. I continue to do me, how I feel when I feel it, but in a you know, I'm a lot. I'm a lot to take in. I'm a lot to be a part of. You know, I am looking for some new partners. I would say a partner, but you know, all my life, and I'm gonna be real honest, I've always felt like it took three fellas to fill the slot of the fatness I gave that role. Now, if I can find a fella that's as fat as all three of those roles, I mean, somebody who's good with their money and or an entrepreneur. And I put those two together because you can be good with money, but are you also good with being an entrepreneur? Can you actually go out and make your own money and invest in those, you know, areas? And yeah, you can sell off and you can, you know, combine with, you know, collaborations and things like that. You know, that's what it's all about, a lot of, you know, in the first place. Hey, we all affected each other, you know, so why be in competition if we can, you know, bid on the big bucks by building our base, you know, collaborations and things like that. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing, you know, to having a couple of key male influence roles filled in my life. Now, I don't know how I can finagle this back into what I really want, because I said the bigness of it. I wanted one. I want one. I said wanted. Ooh, I want one. I hadn't thought about whether I wanted one or not in a long time, but I always felt like there was one that I'd be romantic with, and then one that would always like to go out and have fun, go to the concerts and things like that. Got a girl, most likely, still kind of maybe thinking about me, and he might be the dick under glass, but he's not getting it on no kind of regular, or unless under emergency conditions for whatever reason, and everything, the sun, the moon, all the planets align, you know, he could get it, you know. But you know, so, but for the most part, faithful, you know, to who is, unless he can actually scratch the itch of all three of those lanes. So the intellectual, the financial, and yeah, the intimate. And I paused for the cause because I really would rather have all three of those together, you know, because it takes away from the value of the you know, unity that it brings, that can build and can be useful for, you know. I sing on that on my mantra. I sing about that on my mantra. I said I was going to be gone, so I'm getting it. But anyway, I talked to someone yesterday about, oh, I'm getting ready to cross the water. It's a bridge. So I talked to someone yesterday who is going to help me to get into a class or a course that is going to help me with getting in touch with my sexuality. Not that I don't have sexuality, but I, you know, this, like, I've had some things told to me or done to me as a child, you know, that I've gotten pretty much over, but there's like the core root of some things, you know, people, places and things that I need to put into, you know, into a better box if I'm putting it into the closet. If I'm going to put it back on the shelf and put it back in the closet, I think I need to go back to some childhood things were told to me that I don't recall. And then there were some childhood things that I do recall. So when you put those things together, there's a few things, like the one thing that I do recall, not something being done to me, but something being done to me, which was someone telling me something, which was pretty impactful, which was, it's going to hurt, it's always going to hurt, you're never going to get used to it. So anyway, so I'm going to take a class, get into a course, enroll in this little, you know, program that's going to help me to dissect myself in that department, to pull out my skeletons and dust them off for fingerprints, and, you know, do some forensic work on myself. I met recently someone who does that kind of work at the Temple Mother Earth. He's actually going to be doing an event in the month of October there. But anyway, there's a couple of been up to. Also, I'll tell you guys about it. I also have a fall special going on, a detox special. I expose you to my 5 words of supernatural wellness. I give you a ionic foot detox. It's opportunity to sip on some organic tea, herbal teas, so they'll have some influence on what your condition is and situation is for what you would like to prepare the energy for that moment. So we also have aromatherapy going on. There's some sacred music that will be playing. There's reflexology on your feet. Oh my God, breathing and a potential. There's a couple of, a la carte things you can keep in and take out, but vision boards on there as well. So you can do a vision board, you can do breathology or breath classes. I think I am where I'm going to go, and I just passed over the water. I told you I was going to be near the water today. Yes, I am. Stay near the water during my solar return celebration time. I still got other places up and down this coast I'm gonna go to, but in the meantime, I am making sure my celebration. Look, there's a big truck next to me, so I'm making sure I watch that bad boy. Keep us both in check, okay? So, but yeah, no, I actually, I'm still celebrating, but I'm working, but I'm having fun while I'm working because I'm still celebrating, not because I'm still celebrating, but I'm still celebrating. At the moment, myself, giving gratitude, feeling happy and happy for my success, happy and successfully being happy. I am feeling and I am speaking, I am seeing, I am loving, I am all the actual pieces of my chakra. Uh, I'm keeping my energies. Ooh, I'm conducting my energies. Oh, am I in the right place? No, I think I'm in the wrong place. I think I'm supposed to be over that way. All right, I just saw what I needed to see. This is what it's like over here. This is another opportunity presenting itself to me. Okay, family, folks, and fun and friends, let me turn the camera the other way to let you see what I'm riding up on and where I will be working for the day. All right, one love and wellness, love plus art equals wellness. Hope you're enjoying your day, your time, your moment, your signs, your symbols, your solutions, your way of doing your day's things, getting your things accomplished. Let's turn it back around and see where we are. Okay. Love plus art equals wellness. Heart happy hour season 5. Precious mother love on her way for her day to start. Big hearts, facts, folks, family. One love.